Hi, Earthy Wise Woman here. I am not the most computer savviest person around, believe me, I know. But Etsy has made it so that we could upload and do videos here on our stores. I decided to discuss candles because candles is one of the best sellers that I have on my store. Now, a lot of people do not know a lot about candles, but they know that they are attracted to it. Now, I want to try to do this as briefly, but not too briefly as possible. Some of the history about a candle. So, first of all, candles are one of the oldest forms of divination. And the reason I say that is because it's not the wax or anything, it's the fire. Fire is the oldest form of divination because the planet was actually formed by fire. If we were doing an elemental ritual, the first element we celebrate is fire because the lava, the rocks, they were formed first. And they were formed because of fire, melting, coming together. Fire is our first element. Mankind has been fascinated with fire since the beginning of time. And it started off in a mundane way for mundane reasons. First of all, fire was the one thing that kept us warm. When we were in caves and such, fires kept us warm. And fires were the way that we were able to cook our food. Also, fire was the way to protect us from wild animals coming to our dwelling and, you know, pillaging or whatever wild animals did, the fire would keep them away. But as time went on and mankind became comfortable with fire, they realized that there was something more spiritual, something more magical about fire. They would look into the fire and they would see images of their ancestors. They would see images of their deities, of the Luas. Um, they would listen and they could hear the fire speaking to them. They would see the smoke, and in the smoke, they would see themselves sending messages back to the Lua or sending messages to their ancestors. So, fire has always had a very hypnotic and a very magical effect on mankind, and it's always been with us. Okay. One of the other forms of deity that a lot of people do is reading candles, not the wax, but reading the flame. Sometimes they can see messages in the flame, so they would dim the room and only have just the flame of the candle. And within that, they could get a message from their ancestors, or they could do a reading from just the flame of the candle. So candles have always been a very prominent form of magic for us. Now, that's just one part of the candle. As time went on, the color, and that's color magic. Color magic is also very, very powerful. But that came later. But let's go on and discuss color. Right now, this is a red candle, and as a lot of you know, red would represent passion and lust. But in some traditions and cultures, red is also to celebrate the luas. Also, it can represent health because the blood is red. So it has a lot to do with making sure a person could quickly be healed. Now, someone said, well, why do you say quickly? Because of the color of the hue. Now, different colors vibrate at higher frequencies. So red vibrates at a very high frequency, whereas other colors at a lower frequency, some at a very high frequency. And as a rule of thumb, if you don't know what color candle to burn for a particular situation, always burn white. And the reason why is because white encompasses all the colors. So if you don't know or you're not sure what color to burn, white is always right. Oh my goodness, I wasn't even trying to rhyme. But it's always right. So colors and fire and candles are very prominent. Now, I sell a lot of jar candles or 7-day candles. And a lot of people are like, well, I've had a lot of people ask me this, will this last for 7 days? You know something? I have seen a 7-day candle burn for 9 days. I have also seen a 7-day candle burn for 2. And on a mundane level, I could tell you it has a lot to do with the wax. It has to do with, was the candle in a draft? Was it underneath a air conditioning duct? All of these. But on a spiritual and on a metaphysical level, I can tell you this, and it seems to usually be right. When a candle burns fast, just really fast, that is a lot of energy work that has gone out to the universe to make what you desire come to flourishing a little faster. And when it takes its time, it may take a little bit longer. Sometimes when a candle takes longer, but the flame doesn't go out, but the flame is not as high as you would want it to be, generally you might be fighting up against someone else who might be having a spell that might be countering your spell. And that happens. I will tell you this, to those who are new to the craft and to those who are curious, candle magic is one of the best places to start, because you can do so much with candles. I also like to do planetary work with candles because of the colors. I have done work with Native American energies because I work with the colors and I burn candles. Because candle magic is in almost every, in fact, not almost, pretty much every single tradition there is. I don't know any tradition that does not encompass a form of candle magic because of the fire and because of the colors. So, that being said, if any of you guys have any questions or comments, please feel free to message me or leave a comment below. I don't know if you can do that here on Etsy. Either way, you can't go wrong with feeling drawn to candles because as a younger witch, it was one of the first forms of divination I did. And now I am an older witch and I have been a I don't like to say I became a witch. I like to say I discovered I was a witch at a rather young age. Um, I myself had the opportunity to see two of my grandmothers, one maternal and the other paternal. Um, one was a practicer of voodoo, and the other one was more a traditional Wicca. And they both used candles and they did it in different ways, and yet they really did merge and they did join to form this really beautiful spiritual harmony. So as I was saying, and I'm going off on a tangent, please forgive me, you can't go wrong burning a candle. um Sometimes that's another video. I was about to say something that was going to lead off, but just remember, fire is our oldest form of divination. It was how the universe was created, our Earth anyway. And it was the first spiritual connection mankind had with our Luas and our deities. So that being said, blessed be and light and love to everybody. Earthy Wise Woman here saying, have a good day. Bye bye.